Hi, so I thought that I wanted to take you on the design journey for my next crochet project. I'm planning to use some, since I've just been writing all the patterns for my book, or making all the patterns of the book for my book, I'm planning to use some leftover yarn off from the book, so I'm going to use this Diablo Multi in color 20. It's some kind of lilac or purple. This is acrylic mohair mix yarn, and they recommend a 9mm hook. If I remember, I used a 6mm for the last time, so I'm going to try with a 6mm hook this time. I have this idea that I'll this year try to use all of my yarns in my cupboard, so I won't get any new yarns for at least the rest of this year and next year. So we'll use what we have. So I hope I have enough of this. I used for the book, I think I used 9 skeins, and I do have 11, so I think it should be enough. This will be a bit of a different pattern, so it will require a bit more of yarn than the other project, so I really hope it's enough. I'll also need to make mine a bit extra long, so I will be able to wear it this year still, because I have a bit of a bump at the moment. So, but of course I want to make something that I can wear. So let's start with our gauge swatch and see how much we will need to. How many stitches we'll need to start, and I usually also tend to a bit calculate from the swatch how much yarn I will use in the end, so that's kind of for me to know that if I have enough yarn or not. So we start with 6mm hook, but as I said, they recommend a 9mm, so let's see if it will be enough. Or if 6 might actually be too small, then I will have to increase. I don't have a 6.5mm hook, I think, so 6mm hook is a G10, so let's see, maybe I'll have to use a 7. Let's see. And when I do make a gauge swatch, now since I actually have no idea how many stitches there will be, I try to make it larger than 10 centimeters 4 inches, just so I'm sure I have it big enough. And also I typically tend to like making a larger, so you don't measure the stitches on the edges, because I think they usually are a bit different than what they will be in the final pattern. So I think it's better to measure in the middle. So I recommend that you also, if for your example need 12 stitches for your gauge swatch or for your gauge, I will at least make 14, probably 16, so I won't measure the edges but in the middle. And then I'm sure also that I capture all the stitches, because if you just would make it so it would be 12, then if you're like in between stitches, you might not catch it, and that might actually affect the size quite a lot. Even if it might feel like just half a centimeter or like a quarter of an inch, it will affect the final size quite a lot. So make a large gauge swatch. If I would feel like I had time, I would probably make a 20 or 8 inches gauge swatch. Let's see, now I don't remember what stitch I was thinking for this. Oh yeah. So I was thinking to make a sweater using half double crochet back loop only. It was actually my daughter, she's 1, she kind of found this magazine in the mail, and there she kind of opened the page, and there it was like a really beautiful knitted sweater. So I'm going to try to make something similar in crochet. of course a bit different because I still want to make it like my design and my sweater, but like the basic neckline will be the same or similar, and kind of the overall oversized shape and everything from it. So but I'll make this in half double crochet back loop only. I might want to have a ribbing on it, so that will probably be a single crochet back loop only, because that looks really good with the half double crochet back loop only. So yeah, let's start with that. So my swatch is now over 10 centimeters high and over 10 centimeters wide, or 4 by 4 inches. I will now give it a quick steam block. You should always block your swatch, and then we are ready to measure it to see how large or how many stitches and rows we'll use for our sweater. But yeah, I'll block it and then let's come back when it's ready to be used. So here's the secret I've been having, except for the book. So we're expecting our second child for next spring. So it's been an autumn with a lot of things going on. Yeah, so I know I'm chopping my head off now. Let's calculate the math for this sweater. So I'll make a size medium now, and because I have my bump, I will make it a bit longer so I will be able to wear the sweater. I'm a bit old-fashioned. I'm still using pen and paper. I like that best. I'm terrible in any kind of drawing, so my handwriting isn't the best, but I like to have a book where I have all the ideas, because I don't want to pick up my phone all the time or look at my computer, because I like just to sit in the sofa and relax and just write in my book. So like a working name for this, usually then your name and a sweater after. So and then we write what hook size we used. So yeah, so I decided that the 6mm hook is a good hook size for this. I like how the garment looks with this. What I look for when deciding on what hook size to use, I want to make a garment that's airy and light. So I want to use a bigger hook as possible, but not having like holes in the garment. So, but still, like a larger hook size makes it usually airier and lighter. So as large as possible I usually tend, but yeah, this yarn recommended a 9mm hook and I couldn't be nowhere near that. So I will have to think how I recommend the yarns for this one, because I wouldn't say that this is a 9mm hook yarn. So I'll probably recommend an Arano worsted instead of a bulky, because I think that's more close to the truth. So let's measure our gauge swatch. Always measure your gauge swatch of the blocking, of course, and then at a flat surface. You don't want it at a flat surface, but not, for example, a sofa or anything where the kind of yarn would kind of stick to it. You need this kind of surface that it kind of flows. So because otherwise it do affect the gauge. So let's see where we have our 10mm or 10 centimeters. So I have 12 stitches across. And in 8 rows. So I tend to make my sweaters like in size medium, like 55 to 58 centimeters long. I don't know by heart what that's in inches. So now I will probably go closer to 58, but I think I'll go for 60 centimeters on this one, because I want to be able to wear it for quite a while still. This sweater I made when I was pregnant with my first baby, so this is still bump friendly. This is my limeberry sweater if you're interested in the pattern. I'll link it below. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, and this sweater will be made, so it will be made like this lengthwise. So now the number of stitches will be the height of the sweater, and the number of rows will be the width of the sweater. So that's always easy. You can kind of, even if you're in between sizes, you can just add a couple of rows and adjust it like that. So I will now have to think, because I will also make a ribbing in the bottom using single crochet, so that will probably be a bit smaller stitches, but if I want 60 centimeters, yeah, and I will make the sweater like in one piece. So now if I want it 60 centimeters long, I will have to calculate, so it's 120 centimeters. And that would be, if I would just make the half double crochet, 12 times 12, 144, yeah. Yeah, so 144 stitches, yeah. And then plus the chains, so that would be plus 2, because I'm doing the third chain, so that would be 146 stitches. But then since I will make the ribbing in a stitch that's not as high as this one, I'll add a few stitches, probably like it's still quite high stitch. Usually I recommend to check this in your gauge swatch, but let's just now wing it this time. So I'll add 3 stitches per side, so that's 6 stitches, so 150 or 150, and then I said plus 2 because of the chains, but now I'll actually start with single crochet, so that's just plus 1 for the chain, because then I'm doing the second chain from the hook. So we'll need 151 stitches to get it the length. Rows for a size medium, I make it 52.5 centimeters wide. So that would be 42 rows. And then I will have a neck opening in the middle. So I actually want, then I want an uneven number of rows, then that's easier. So let's say 43 rows. So then I will make 21 rows and then neck opening, and then 21 rows. And my ribbing I want probably like this high, so that would be 5 centimeters. So in this stitch that would be 6 stitches, and then I added 2, so 8 stitches for the ribbing. let's start with that. So I now have the math and we're actually just ready to begin. I will make a video tutorial for this, so I'll actually begin with the sweater in the video tutorial, and then I'll show you more once I have started. So I made a video tutorial for the first row, or for the chains in the first row, and now I'm basically just ready to continue with the pattern by myself until I made 21 rows, and then I'll make the neck opening. So I'll just be crocheting here. Yes, I'll be sitting here and crocheting for a while, because they are vacuuming downstairs, and that's quite a lot of sound. Or we have our robot vacuum, that's quite loud, so I'll just sit here and relax. Usually I do crochet in the sofa, that's a bit more comfortable. In the beginning of this, before the chains, I usually leave a tail if I know that I'm going to seam the sides, because that will mean fewer ends to weave in the end, and I don't like weaving in ends. So now I'll show you how I use that while I'm, or where I store it while I'm working on the pattern. So I have quite flu, so that's my voice is like that. So I fold it like this, I pull it in and then just fold it until it's quite small, and then I just make a knot like this. Not too tight, but still tight enough so it keeps. So now I have my end here, and it won't disturb me while I'm working on the garment, but it will mean a lot easier than in the end, because it's not as many ends to weave. But yeah, now I'll just continue with this for a while. So when I made the video, I saw how many minutes it took me to make the first row. I usually like to calculate how long it will take me to make the sweater. So the first row is always takes a bit longer, since it's you're working in the chains, and they are always a bit trickier to work in than the stitches. So it took me 15 minutes for the first row. Remember, this is for the front and the back, so 15 minutes it's quite okay. But I'll expect that to be around 12 minutes then when working in the chains or in the stitches instead of the chains. And I'll make 43 rows for the body. So that's 12. So it will be around 9 hours to complete the body for this sweater. And then the sleeves are smaller than the body even if you add them up, but it will still be at least half or around half the body. So let's say 5 hours, so that would mean that it will take around 14 hours to complete this sweater. On a typical day, I have like 30 minutes per day to crochet, not that much, since I have another day job, and then just take care of the household, making food, take care of my 1-year-old and everything. That leaves me with around 30 minutes of my own time in the evening to just relax on the sofa and crochet. So that would mean that 14 hours, that would mean 28 days to complete it, so like a month. I do have a bit more time, typically on weekends and some other days, so I would say that it will probably be down to 21 days, so that would be 3 weeks to complete this sweater. Let's see how long it takes actually takes if I manage to squeeze in a few extra minutes here and there, but I'm at the stage where I'm in no hurry to finish my project, so it will take the time it takes, but I usually tend to like to see how long it will take in the end, so I know what to prepare for. But yeah, I would say that's quite common pace for me, like 1 sweater per month. So that still adds up to like 10 to 12 sweaters per year, so that's a good pace. Before kids I made a lot more, but yeah, that's the way life goes. But yeah, I hope you like the video, that this pattern will have a video tutorial also. I've been so excited to make that, and now I'm so excited to make something that I'm able to show. It's been really nice working with the book, but I prefer to be able to show what I'm working on, so even if I've been having some sneak peeks, it's always nicer to be able to show everything while you're working on it. So what happened when I decided to wing it on the ribbing and the gauge of the ribbing? The sweater ended up way too long. This is almost like 2.5 inches too long, so that's quite a lot. It isn't explained simply by the ribbing, but I also changed. I used my Furls crochet hook upstairs, and then when I went down I forgot the crochet hook upstairs and used another 6mm hook, so that changed my gauge. So I will have to rip this and start again. Luckily I didn't do that much more, and I do recommend that when you've just done a bit, measure. Don't measure after the first or second row, or don't take the measurement too seriously, because the first and second row you kind of a bit searching for your gauge still. But then when you've come a while, like here I have 5 rows or 6, yeah, then it's a good idea to start over, or to measure to see that you're on right track, or that your measurements are correct for the length or width. Yeah, but I'll start again. It's not that crucial to start again, because a longer sweater wouldn't be too bad, but I ended up using a full skein on this one, and then I calculated that I won't have enough yarn to finish the sweater if I do it like this, so in that sense I have to remake it. I'm not sure that I still will have enough yarn, but let's hope that I can get it together. I might just make the sleeves like 3/4 of a length or something like that if it looks like that, because I usually prefer my sleeves like that. I always pull them up like this anyhow, so let's see, but yeah. Let's start again. So I now finished like half of the sweater, so I'll now take some how-to pictures for the pattern, and also make the video for how to continue with it. So basically I will just split it here in the middle to make a neck opening. But yeah, let's see where we put our stitch markers and so. So I've had the flu for quite a while, but I'm now starting to get more things done on this weather. So yeah, I've completed the, let's just take away all the extra yarn here. So I completed the body like this. So it will look like this. And I started a bit with the sleeve because I made a video tutorial for that. I noticed it's really hard to make a kind of design video showing you the design and all the steps, and as well make the video tutorial with the steps. So now I just have to jump and make this first. So I seamed this side. I left the slits open here. I would have preferred to close it, but it didn't fit me if I did. So now I'm going to seam this side, and then I'll show it on. I guess I'll show you this later on, because now my baby woke up, so I'll need to go and take care of her. So I'll continue seaming and showing you the design on another day probably. So I actually got her to fall back asleep. I don't know why I call her a baby anymore. She's 1.5, so not a baby, but or for me she's still a baby. She drooled a bit on me, but yeah, that happens. But yeah, let's see how long we can continue. It would be nice to show you how it looks at the moment. It's a bit tight on me, but I hope I'll be able to use it for a while at least. I would have made it bigger, but I had a yarn constraint, so I'm not even sure that the yarn I have now will be enough for this one, but let's hope. If I can't use it now, I'll use it next year. I always try to make as timeless garments as possible, so you can use them for season after season. I'm done. So let's try it on. It's a lot of yarn ends here. I always weave them in first in the end because that's easier if I need to make any changes on the garment. So let's see. Now I can't see it myself, so you'll be the first to see it. Let's see. I don't know how much you can see now. Let's move the chair. But yeah, as you can see, it's starting a bit tight, but I left this open so I could use it, and then if I want I can just close this then later on. But I think it's nice to have them open also, but I wouldn't have needed this long usually. But yeah, this is how it looks like right now. I'm happy with it. I'll add an edge here as well, so it's nice. I'll see. It should be a bit more like this, so it's in the same. Yeah, but I like this. So then I'll just continue with the sleeve, and an edge on this other side, and an edge there, and of course the second sleeve, and then we're starting to get done. Yay! Let's hope I have enough yarn. So I still have quite a flew here, but I'm still making good progress on my sweater. Let's see if I can try it on and show you. So I have one sleeve almost done. I'll just making the ribbing here, and then it will be done. I think it will be really nice. And then repeat on the other side. I did decide to close the neckline a bit more. I found it a bit too open. So I really like the neckline how it is now. At first I wanted it really open, that's why I did it. But then after trying it on, I realized that I will wear it a lot more with it a bit more closed. I find it more comfortable. But that was a really easy fix to make afterwards. So I just slip stitch here, so you have this nice edge, and then when I continued to slip stitch around and repeated on the back side the same that I slip stitch together the sides here. But yeah, and now I can't see the sleeve myself, but it looks good, and the length will be good with the ribbing here, so I think it's nice. Now I'll just need to finish up the how-to pictures for the ribbing of the sleeve. I just filmed a video of it, and then I'm actually done with all the video material I'll need for the video tutorial, and for all the photos for the pattern. Then I of course take the final photos of the sweater. Let's hope I can get someone to take the photos with me. And then of course I'll repeat the sleeve on the other side, but then I'll just weave in ends and it's ready. So I think next time I'll show you the actual finished sweater.